morning. So we're here with a special guest, our head of school, Mr. Quesnel, and we're going to do an amazing book that I think is relevant right now. I'm going to hold it up, the 3 questions. And so we're going to take you through each page, but it'll be a little different and better because we'll have the benefit of our guest speakers being the characters. I'm going to be, as Winnie the Pooh says, the narrator. So here we go with this story. Once upon a time, there was a boy named Nikolai who sometimes felt uncertain about the right way to act.
I want to be a good person,
He told his friends.
but I don't always know the best way to do that.
Nikolai's friends understood and they wanted to help.
If only I could find the answers to my 3 questions,
Nikolai continued.
then I would always know what to do. When is the best time to do things? Who is the most important one? What is the right thing to do?
Nikolai's friends considered his first question. Then Sonia the heron spoke.
To know the best time to do things, one must plan in advance.
She said. Gogol, the monkey, who had been rooting through some leaves to find something good to eat, said,
You will know when to do things if you watch and pay close attention.
Then Pushkin, the dog, who was dozing off, rolled over and said,
You can't pay attention to everything yourself. You need a pack to keep watch and help you decide when to do things. For example, Gogol, a coconut is about to fall on your head.
Nikolai thought for a moment, and then he asked the second question.
Who is the most important one? Those who are closest to heaven.
Sonia circled up in the sky.
Those who know how to heal the sick,
said Gogol, who's stroking her bruised noggin.
Those who make the rules,
growled Pushkin. Nikolai thought some more. Then he asked the third question.
What is the right thing to do? Flying,
said Sonia.
Having fun all the time,
said Gogol.
Fighting,
said Pushkin right away. The boy thought for a long while. He loved his friends and he knew they were trying to give him their best answers, but the answers didn't seem quite right. Then an idea came to him.
I know,
he thought.
I will ask Leo the turtle. He has lived a very long time. Surely he will know the answers I am looking for.
Nikolai hiked high in the mountains where the old turtle lived all alone. And when Nikolai arrived, he found Leo digging in the garden. The turtle was old, and digging was hard for him.
I have 3 questions, and I came to ask your help,
Nikolai said.
When is the best time to do things? Who is the most important one? What is the right thing to do?
Leo listened carefully, but he only smiled. And when he went on digging,
You must be tired,
Nikolai said at last.
Let me help you.
And the turtle gave him the shovel and thanked him. And because it was easier for the young boy to dig than for the old turtle, Nikolai kept digging until the rows were all finished. But just as he finished, the wind blew wildly, and the rain burst from darkened clouds. As they moved towards the cottage for shelter, Nikolai suddenly heard a cry for help. Running down the path, he found a panda whose leg had been injured by a fallen tree. Carefully, Nikolai carried her into Leo's house and made a splint for her from a stick of bamboo. And the storm raged on, banging the doors and the windows, and the panda woke up.
Where am I?
She said.
And where is my child?
The boy ran out of the cottage and down the path. The roar of the storm was deafening. Pushing against the howling wind and drenching rain, he ran further into the forest, and there he found the panda's child, cold, shivering on the ground. The little panda was wet and scared, but alive, and Nikolai carried her inside and made her warm and dry, and laid her in her mother's arms. And Leo smiled. He saw what the boy had done. The next morning, the sun was warm. The birds sang, and all was well with the world. The panda's leg was healing nicely, and she thanked Nikolai for saving her and the baby from the storm. At that moment, Sonia, Gogol, and Pushkin arrived to make sure everything was all right. I felt great peace within himself. He had wonderful friends, and he had saved the panda and her child, but he also felt disappointed. He still had not found the answers to his 3 questions, so he asked Leo one more time, and the old turtle looked at the boy.
But your questions have been answered,
He said.
They have?
Asked the boy.
Yesterday, if you had not stayed to help me dig my garden, you wouldn't have heard the panda's cries for help in the storm. Therefore, the most important time was the time you spent digging the garden. The most important one at that moment was me. And the most important thing to do was to help me with my garden. Later, when you found the injured panda, the most important time was the time you spent mending her leg and saving her child. The most important ones were the panda and her baby, and the most important thing to do was to take care of them and make them safe. Remember then that there is only one important time, and that time is now. The most important one is always the one you are with. And the most important thing is to do good for the one who is standing at your side. For these, my dear boy, are the answers to what is most important in this world. This is why we are here.
Thank you for joining us for the reading of this book. Mr. Quesnel, as our guest speaker, would you like to translate what might be useful from this book to our students?
Sure. I think right now, with everybody at home with their families, it's pretty clear that now is the most important time, and that our loved ones that we're spending time with are the most important people around us, and that the good that we can do for them is the most important thing we can do to help everybody stay safe and happy.
Thank you, sir. And with that, we wish everybody a great week. Health and happiness. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.